Hello and welcome to LEGO Gotham Specters. Check this out. Check this out. It's a little tease for you, but not yet. I promise if you stick around for this video, you're gonna see something really cool and unique, and I haven't really seen many other people do it. If I was watching this right now, I'd be hooked to this series. This is crazy, honestly. It was really hard to do, and I'm really excited to show you exactly what I've been doing to make this series come to life. I don't want to go into it too much, but basically this series is a reboot of LEGO Batman and gaming, basically ending LEGO Batman 3, going straight into a whole new universe inspired by newer Batman comics and the new Batman movie. I already have 3 episodes breaking down a lot of the details of it that I think are really freaking cool and I think you should check out, and there's so much more that's going to happen in the future. One of those things that's going to come up soon is, of course, more Nightwing. If I can... there we go, I got it over. This is LEGO Nightwing in Gotham Specters. It looks so freaking cool. There's actually a stream of me doing this design. This is his base suit, but there are other suits, and you're actually going to see one of them untextured in this video. I am in love with this suit. I think it's so freaking cool. I can't understand how someone would not be excited for these videos because this is freaking awesome. There are going to be 4 other suits, as I've discussed in the last episode. You get to see the concept art and the story and all of the mechanics behind those suits, but you're actually going to see these suits in 3D, fully animated, and everything. I have this first suit done, the base suit, but there's 4 other ones that we will be working on very soon. And they shouldn't be too far in the future, actually, because I have streamlined the process so much now. One of the things I've streamlined is the animation itself, and that actually took a while to do. That's what kind of took this video so freaking long. I've spent the past 3 days just non-stop trying to get this animation system to work. And it's not just animating it, it's making sure that it is usable across the board for many different characters so that I don't have to literally create every character from scratch every single time. So what I've done is in Blender, this is the Crucible suit, one of Nightwing's alternate suits. He's kind of like a knight. What I've had to do is create a rig that will work for every single main character in the game, which there will be 8 main characters in the game. Watch the previous videos to figure out all that stuff. The thing with these characters is that they're going to have multiple different parts that are different across each of them. They do share the same kind of base layout, which is of course like the arms, legs, and stuff like that. But there's other things, like, I mean, not everyone's going to have this this Nightwing, I don't know, shoulder pad, Nightwing symbol thing. Not everyone's going to have the helmet and stuff. I had to create a rig that would support all the different types of like accessories and gadgets that I could put on this character. And so if I turn this button on, you'll actually see the skeleton itself. This skeleton took absolutely forever. Now, this skeleton is going to basically morph the mesh. Basically taking the vertices, if I click on something you can see the vertices, taking these vertices and stretching them around in uniform ways that make it look like they're animating around. You can actually see this in action, so if I rotate this arm, you'll see that it's rotating. It was very difficult for a LEGO figure. In fact, the legs were monstrously difficult. Now, the reason it's so difficult for a LEGO character is for 2 reasons. One reason, I mean, they're kind of connected. Basically, a LEGO character is super cubic. It's not very natural looking. I think the arms were actually the easiest because the arms are pretty normal looking and actually feel like limbs. But specifically the legs are just these kind of blocks that don't really resemble human legs at all very much. And so creating the rig for them was extremely hard. When you add a skeleton in Blender, usually it applies these blend weights for you, basically which vertices is this bone going to affect. And usually that works, especially for the arms, it just worked instantly. But for the legs, oh my god, it was a process. Let me actually show you what's going on. You can see that I've actually had to paint exactly where the vertices are that are going to morph. Like, basically yellow means where red means that it's going to be strongly pulled with the bone, green means less, and blue means basically not being pulled at all. And you can see that here. It was very, very, very extremely hard to actually get this right, and then I had to kind of copy it over to the other leg, and it was a whole process. But yeah, you can actually see over in the hierarchy that I've already planned out all of the other stuff that Nightwing needs. I actually have everything that Nightwing needs, it's just the texturing part. But before I got to texturing, I wanted to make sure that this rig absolutely worked. I didn't want to just, you know, create a whole system, create a bunch of textures, and then animate them and figure out that, okay, it's not working at all. I have to redo the topology and stuff. So if we go back to Unity, which is the game engine I'm using to actually animate and make a playable prototype here, which of course, for legal reasons, this isn't a real game. I'm not actually releasing it. It's just for visual purposes. Now, I had to set this up in a way that was very efficient. You can animate individual bones in Unity as well as Blender and basically create the animation that way. But that's kind of tedious, and I kind of want it to be easy to manipulate and edit over time. And so I installed the animation rigging package, which basically condenses how much you need to actually animate. So let me kind of give you an example. I have created this character here that has a character controller. Basically, this is just how the player is moving in space and rotating and stuff, and how they're staying on the floor and all that. And I've created a whole script that is taking the input of WASD and the camera and all that stuff and using it to set the animation, set the rotations, and the velocity of the player, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty experienced in Unity, so that wasn't extremely hard to do. What was extremely hard to do was set up the animations. So I've set up all of these individual rigs, like you can see all these red things around. If I actually take one of them, this is the run animation, but what I can actually do while it's in preview is you can kind of see what this actually does. So instead of animating individual bones and rotating them, I have these pivot points that actually animate the bones for me in a realistic way. So I can take this and move it around. You can do weird stuff with it as well, but you can see here that this is significantly easier. You know, if I want to make a run animation, I just go like that and animate those keyframes. Let me undo that so it's not like that. There we go. And so I've used this system to create a bunch of different animations. I've actually created all of these animations for this little prototype. Of course, there's going to be a million more animations. So I can actually show a few of these. So this is just the walk forward animation. I can show it. Basically just that. Nothing too crazy. And actually, one of the things I've done to make this really dynamic is the lower body and the upper body are actually separately animated. So right here, you're only seeing the legs, like nothing's happening to the torso or anything like that. And if I go up to walk forward upper body, you can actually see this is what it actually looks like. Also, a lot of these animations are a work in progress, so they're not going to look amazing, but it's more about the system. The way I've actually combined these animations is in the animator component. You can set up these different layers so that, you know, usually in the animator, you have these arrows that connect to an animation and they have arrows that can go to other animations. Like I have this whole jump system that there's a trigger for jump, does the jump animation, and then the falling or land animation basically. And this system only allows you to play one animation at a time. You can blend between them, but you're more or less playing one animation at a time. But we want to combine animations, basically. We want to have the lower body and upper body animating at the same time. And the way you can do that is with these layers here. So I have a lower body layer and an upper body layer. And it actually goes even deeper than that. I've made this system really dynamic and really cool. So if I go inside of lower body walk, this isn't just an animation, it's actually blending animations inside of each other. So it takes the X and Y coordinate of which direction the player should be walking, and there's different animations for basically how the player should actually move. So if you're moving sideways and facing forward, you should have a sideways walk animation. If you're walking backwards, you should have a backwards walking animation. And so this system does that. And there's also an idle animation whenever these values are 0. One of the things that went wrong, well, there was a bunch of things, especially with the way that the bones are bending wasn't perfectly amazing, especially the feet and the legs, as I said before. But there was this very weird glitch. I actually made a short of it that happened where the legs were working fine, more or less. But as soon as I started animating the upper body, this bizarre bug where it just wasn't doing that, and like the arms were doing different things, and it was just absolutely bizarre. And I spent like a whole 2 hours, 3 hours or something like that just figuring out like, what the heck is this, man? And it would have sucked because I would have had to combine the upper body and lower body into one animation, which would have really limited what I could do. Like, for instance, I could have, you know, a player walking while having like a animation where they're holding something in the air or something like that. But I ended up fixing it, and it was actually really small fix. It was so annoying. Basically, up here in the layers, if you set this to additive, it will mess up because the bones that I was animating for the upper body didn't exist on this layer. Like, I wasn't animating the same things at all. So when it's additive, it doesn't know what it's adding to because this other layer isn't using the same stuff. So you actually have to make sure that it's on override. That thing annoyed the hell out of me. I'm so glad I got it to work though. Okay, the last thing I want to show you before the gameplay is actually this cape here. So the reason I picked the Crucible suit, you know, you might think that's weird, like why not use the suit you already textured? I'm using the Crucible suit specifically because it had the cape and it has a lot of complicated geometry on it. And so I want to put the system to the test to make sure that everything actually will work. And this cape here, it's pretty cool. It's got like an Azrael-esque looking cape. If I go into this prefab and actually look at the cape here, basically there's this cloth simulation that you can do inside of Unity. And is it even working? Usually it would show you all the particles and stuff with this cape and like all the vertices that would morph with the simulation. But honestly, this makes a lot of sense. This thing is so glitchy, like it just glitches out all the time and just barely works half of the time. But I did get it to work, and there's like colliders, so it'll collide with like the feet and the arms and the back and all that stuff. It's gonna look really cool when you see it. I tried my best to make it somewhat realistic, so it has a lot of dampening and it's very stiff to kind of make it seem like, okay, this is a small object, but it's really hard to get the system perfect, and there's definitely more I could do with the capes. But the actual idea is there and working. Okay, it is time to finally show this gameplay. Now, I will warn you, like, some of the animations are not perfect. I still have some work to do on them, but I tried extremely hard. I had to redo these animations a million times just to get this somewhat right. And I'm doing stuff that I don't even think the Lego games, at least the Lego Batman games, weren't even doing. I'm doing a lot more blending of animations and omnidirectional movements that you'll see. So yeah, please push the like button. Please share this around because I spent an insane amount of time on this. There also might be a little bit of snapping on the animations. That's something I kind of am aware of. I just haven't fixed yet. Alright, let's play it. You're about to see some cool stuff here. So we got this idle animation. It's looking super cool. We have this cape here. And in fact, something I didn't really say is that even the head is on its own separate rig, and I can actually tell the head where to look at in space. It's kind of just looking forward, but I still think it's so cool that it's kind of moving by itself. But yeah, this is so freaking awesome. Look at this. And this is the walk animation, or I guess run. It's not as stylized as Lego Batman. I do want to work on that, but I think it's alright. And you can see the cape is moving around, and it even like bounces off the legs. Like, look how freaking cool that is. Now, there isn't just this, like, this is the omnidirectional movement. Basically, I call it forward-only movement. And this is kind of the movement that you see in pretty much all of the Lego games. You don't really have... Well, actually, there is an exception. Whenever you're pulling on an object in a Lego game, you do get omnidirectional movement. I also have a jump. Like, look at this. I have a jump. This is super hard to get right because it has to do the land animation before you hit the ground. It was very hard to do, but you can see it's really cool. So let me actually show you this omnidirectional movement. You can see a little bit of it here because it's in forward only motion. Also, the cape is let's get that cape off me. Get that cape off me. Get that thing off me. Gotta get that thing off me. Hold up. Let's get it there. Go right there. Let's straighten it out. Yeah, the cape is still, yeah, it's still a work in progress. Okay, there we go. The cape is perfectly good. As I was saying, you can see a little bit of it because it's only in forward motion only. It kind of does the run animation most of the time. But if I turn forward motion off and I push X, which is my keybind for it, I can actually walk backwards. So I can walk backwards, and I actually have animations for walking backwards, like I said before. Not only that, I can walk sideways. And I can walk the other way. And because it's blended, you can actually walk in omnidirectional movements. I can walk diagonally. This kind of seems like Fortnite, honestly. It's like, it's got that Fortnite vibe to it. Which I don't necessarily want, but I think it's cool that it looks as smooth as it is, especially since I don't really do character animation very often. But yeah, you can see this is so freaking cool. Like, it's fully like morphing and stuff like that. And like, even when you speed up, like the animation actually basically speeds up as you start moving. It doesn't just instantly go. And it kind of slows down as well. You can see it slowed down. It's so freaking cool. It's honestly insane because I am a game developer, but I haven't made anything super professional, and I especially haven't done anything with characters like this before. So the fact that it looks very similar to the games is honestly impressive, and I can't believe I've actually figured it out and done this before. I do have these little platforms over here that I can try to use. Let's see. Boom. I think the landing still isn't perfect. Actually did okay there. Jump like that. Boom. I don't know. I think this is freaking awesome. It's just so freaking cool. And I can just put this animation on anything. I can make a bunch of just Lego figures of just anything, and I can put them in the game and just test them out with animations, and it's just like, it just works. Like Todd Howard said, it just freaking works. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. This took forever. I know it's not a lot, but this took an insane amount of time, and just the fact that this is working is honestly amazing to me. And of course, I will be doing even more with this in the future. Of course, in the next video, I want to have Nightwing actually holding the Eskrima sticks and all of his gadgets in an animation as well, and I can actually attach things to the hands and all that type of stuff. It's gonna be so freaking cool. So yeah, please like the video, please share it around. This type of content, the Lego Gotham Specters, doesn't get as many views as the Voxel Gotham series, and so I really do need some support on this series. If you truly like this and you want to see where this is going to go, like, I want to get to the point where I'm making levels, and obviously can't release a whole game or whatever, but there's going to be so much stuff I can make in terms of fan art and hypotheticals and animations. There's no limit to what I can do with this series, and I just wish there was more support for it. So please push it out there, all that type of stuff. And of course, I do have a membership program on YouTube, so you will be getting super high resolution images of stuff from this series, like wallpapers, and I'll do some like poses and stuff like that for Nightwing whenever that comes out. And you'll also get the models. So I'm not sure if I'm legally allowed to give you this prototype. I don't know. I mean, it's technically not copyright because I'm not necessarily using any of the tools that Lego has, but I don't know. I have to look into that. If you're a lawyer, is it legally allowed for me to like release this, like for free, obviously, but you know, a part of the membership program? But if not, though, I think it's allowed to just release the models themselves. So I can give you the models of like Nightwing and stuff and put them in a pose or whatever the hell you would like. I can even give the, if you're at the highest tier, I can give the actual animated version, and you can use that in Blender and pose it how you want, whatever you want to do. You can even request, like, if you want a specific pose and a specific render, I can do that as well. So yeah, definitely consider joining the membership program. It's just to kind of support me because I don't get much money on the videos themselves, so I really need it. I really hope there's people out there that just like get excited for this. This is just awesome. Like I don't know, like look at the way the legs are moving. It's so freaking good. It's so good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.